Coming up here on the Raw Ring Report, as you see right here, world champion Roman Reigns tries to enlist his cousin Solo to rejoin the Bloodline. Solo had other plans that you'll see a little bit later that did involve the Bloodline, and that made Roman and company upset. We'll talk about it coming up. Also too, the Intercontinental Championship is on the line as Chad Gable, the defending champion, takes on Luchador Rey Mysterio for the Intercontinental Championship. We'll get to that. Plus, Oba Femi and Bron Breakker have the match set. It'll take place at Sunday night's main event. We'll get to it coming up. But first, we see Stephanie Vicure has some answers she wants to address to Women's World Champion Liv Morgan. We'll get to it coming up here on the Pro Wrestling Show. Raw Ring Report. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this edition of the Raw Ring Report. I'm your host, as always, Kendrick Dix here. Glad you can join us here on the Raw Ring Report. Join in the conversation using the hashtag Pro Wrestling here on Connected. Don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe is caring. Tell a friend, call a friend. Hit that subscribe button so you won't miss a thing. All right, let's get to it here on the Raw Ring Report. We're gonna get to this right here. The tag team, the trio, the Judgment Day, Liv Morgan, Roxanne Perez, and Raquel Rodriguez, all coming out. They all coming out indeed. They did well. Stephanie Vicure came out there. Stephanie Vicure says she wants Liv Morgan one-on-one. I believe Becky Lynch is the burden until her quest to become women's champion. Well, that led to Becky Lynch coming out there saving Raquel, saving Stephanie once again. At this, she tried to get her hands on Liv and company. Liv and company didn't have no match, but they had the odds, the numbers game through that match. And you see right here, Stephanie Vicure still feeling the effects of the women's world champion. I think Liv Morgan might be claiming herself the greatest. She might be on the point being the greatest on what she did. So that's what I look at it like that. And it could be that way for her. Like we said, we could see Liv Morgan being a triple threat match between Becky and Stephanie for the title. We just don't know when. We'll see. Well, speaking of that, we know that Solo Sikoa must give his word. He must join the Bloodline again, as the Uso brothers are so happy that their little brothers about to join back into the group again. Solo looked a little bit sad and disappointed and detached that he has to rejoin the group, that he doesn't want to rejoin the group and stuff. We see that backstage segment. But we get to this right here. We know that the World Championship, we'll get that in a minute, but Javon Evans went one-on-one against JD Madonna in an impromptu match. Javon taking on JD one-on-one. JD Madonna playing the key. JD doing his thing. Look at Javon showing the world that he was doing. Javon doing that color to get with you know who. Saw Javon. But Javon still paying the price. Javon being attacked by Big Cass. Big Cass. You see right here, Big Cass. You see right here, Big Cass attacking Javon once again for the third week in a row. Javon's getting tired. Javon even called out Big Cass saying, "You know what? That's all you good at? Good enough." It still wasn't a Dominic Mysterio even blindside and attack Javon, leaving Javon out and stuff. And Big Cass being a big bully and showing his bully tendencies and stuff like that. Even to the point Big Cass had a trans look on his face. Look at that trans look on his face that Big Cass did. Big Cass showing that. Look at Big Cass showing his trans look on his face. Look at Big Cass bullying Javon. I think Javon's gonna find a way to get back at Big Cass. Big Cass showing bully tendencies and stuff. Javon's gonna have to overpower Big Cass. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Even to the point right here, Ray Phoenix. Ray Phoenix was in action. Ray Phoenix in the Luchador match, which the Luchador tournament for the world title. Ray Phoenix, right here. You see, you're gonna win against Il Cat. I don't want to botch his name, Il Facasa and stuff. Well, we saw that tonight. Ray Phoenix win over El Facasmo. I mean, it was nothing to show. But Ray Phoenix getting the win and getting the victory. He advances on into the Luchador World Title Tournament. The winner will meet Roman Reigns in Mexico City for a shot at the World Championship in mid-September. So we're going to look forward to see that as well. Well, Live Victoria talked about, she had did a backstage segment that she is sick and tired of being sick and tired. She wants her women's Intercontinental title back. She said she'll do absolutely anything what she has to do to win it. So Lyra Victoria was in action against another former women's Intercontinental champion, Solo Roca. Lyra Victoria showing that dark, twisted side of herself. Solo Roca being more laid back. She kind of reminds me of a female RVD. But Lyra Victoria saying she's been under pressed, depressed, and suppressed on not being women's Intercontinental champion. Well, it was a hard fought matchup. It was a long matchup indeed throughout, but it turned out that Solo Roca won. But Solo Roca could be on her way of winning the Intercontinental Championship down the road. So Solo Roca keeping her momentum going. Also, too, we told you the Bloodline situation. They brought back Solo. Well, Jacob Fatu ain't no happy camper. It's still some underlying tension between Jacob and Jay. After Jay told Jacob that we brought Solo back, you couldn't bring her back and call him a punk. You know what? And that didn't sit so well with Jacob. Jacob didn't like that one bit. Jacob felt some type of way after the Usos earlier. You saw this right here. The Usos felt like they hit the cloud nine for bringing Solo back into the group, and you can tell right here they was happy right there with Solo bringing back, and then now they're mad and with tension laying with Jacob as well. So we saw that as well. So we saw that as well. The tensions keep on rolling as we go on throughout the whole show and the whole. We saw that earlier. Now we move on to this right here. Bron Breakker had did an interview with the Vision. Bron Breakker decided to go to the ring on his own. And Bron Breakker called out Oba Femi. Oba Femi wasn't nowhere, was somewhere to be around. And Bron wanted to know who was the future of WWE. But Paul Heyman had got himself in the middle of this situation. Paul Heyman said that a fight like that, these two guys wanted to beat the holy crap out of each other in the night. But Paul Heyman came into between them and said, you know what? Save it for a big stage, and said that they're answering to shareholders. Oba Femi looked like he was ready. Paul Heyman looked like he was ready for the moment to turn Bron Breakker loose. Well, Paul Heyman said he decided he'll make the match. It'll take place at Braun's hometown of Atlanta for Sunday night main event. So there'll be 2 weeks from Sunday, 2 weeks from tomorrow, 2 weeks from yesterday. I mean Sunday night's main event, and Bron Breakker, Oba Femi. We'll finally get the big one on Peacock. Who is the face of WWE, the future face of WWE between these two? I think both of them are future world champions in my book. When you think of it, I think Oba will get it first before Braun. So they're gonna be the two world champions born in the 1990s to get the shot. Born in the late 90s. I think Braun born in 97 and Oba born in 98. So they'll both be world champions. They'll both break that curse that WWE hasn't had a world champion that was born in the 1990s. Now, they have world champions that was born in the 80s with Roman and Seth, kind of like close by. And Jay, that's it. But, that's kind of it right now. But for Sunday night main event, all right, it'll be Bron Breakker versus Oba Femi 1-on-1. So we'll get to see that. We're looking forward to seeing that match as well. Another match in the Cruiserweight Luchador tournament. Dragon Lee was in action. Dragon Lee, part of the World Championship Luchador tournament. Dragon Lee taking on Dr. Wagner Jr. tonight. Dragon Lee won. I mean, it really wasn't. They just tried to make exposure to the Triple A audience, trying to get a TV deal in America and stuff. Still working on that. Well, speaking of that, the Intercontinental Championship was on the line as Chad Gable went 1-on-1 against legendary luchador Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio was in action, but hard part matchup for both men, but Chad Gable won with the ankle lock for Ray. Ray gave him his respect. Ray put the belt around Chad's waist. So Chad Gable, still your reigning Intercontinental Champion, his first championship defense. Congratulations to Chad Gable. Well, we get to the moment of destiny right here. Will Solo rejoin the Bloodline? And Roman Reigns was in tow with Jacob Fatu. The world champion came out there to make a prophecy that he was going to make sure that Solo be near his hip. Do what they once did with the Bloodline version 2.2. This showed that Roman was still he was neutral and stuff, or he wasn't the heel, wasn't the babyface, but I think all that changed tonight. Roman Reigns repositioned himself back as a heel. The man in that Solo Sikoa come out and rejoin the Bloodline. And you see Jacob standing side by side as an enforcer. And the enforcer back in the day was Solo a couple of years ago. Solo turned on the Bloodline. Then years go so by so fast. And now the Usos bringing Jacob, bringing Solo back to the Bloodline. Solo looks like he still was despondent. Solo looks like he didn't want to be in the Bloodline. Solo looks like he was just kind of like entertaining the idea. Really didn't put pen to paper, you ask me. And Roman kept demanding that Solo Sikoa come back to the Bloodline, saying that Solo said out his own mouth that if he lost, he'll join the Bloodline. Even brought clips when Raw was on Netflix. Well, by what, almost 2 years ago, coming up. And, Roman turned heel a little bit, and Jacob, do what you need to do. And Jacob Fatu did use the tongue and death grip, and used that death grip so on Solo, made Solo almost passed out. And Solo, Roman ordered Jacob to stop for Solo's behalf. Solo really didn't know how to handle it, didn't know how to take it. So Roman decided to pause from Solo for a brief minute, and Roman decided to give the Usos their own Ulafula Black for being captains and seemed like they was captains and stuff. And that's what it turned. So we saw that. Then Roman decided to hold Jacob back. Roman decided the LA Knight tried to come out there to help save Solo. Roman decided to give Solo LA Knight the Superman punch, knocking LA Knight out. So that tells me that Roman and LA Knight is going to have a match. Probably at Money in the Bank. We've been hearing those reports that Money in the Bank could be the place to be. We could see that being that way. So we could see that as well for them one-on-one. But the stuff then in there, as you see right here, I want to show you this right here. Solo Sikoa, I looked at it and watched it, said Solo's going to spike Roman. And Solo, the Usos had LA Knight in a groggy position for LA Knight as Roman ordered Solo to end this with Solo by spiking him. Well, Solo decided to spike the world champion Roman Reigns, and Solo unloaded, and he unloaded all right. He took his own brothers out with that spike and knocked both brothers down. And see, this was the funny part right here. This was the funniest part right here. Jacob Fatu couldn't do nothing after Roman had ordered Jacob to not touch LA Knight. I know Roman had to regret that. And as you see right here, so Jacob Fatu just standing there right here like it ain't nothing to him. I'm like, Jacob Fatu would have been annihilated, trying to help him out and stuff. That didn't happen tonight. Jacob Fatu just stood there like just like a closet. Just stood there. I'm like, what in the world? And then we see this right here, the embrace right here by Solo and LA Knight joining forces. So Solo Sikoa wants to do his own thing. LA Knight helping him and guiding him to do his own thing. I don't know, could this be a setup or what? But we see here tonight, Solo Sikoa did not rejoin the Bloodline as promised. That Roman thought, Roman should have knew better. Roman should have knew better with that. Roman should have knew better on all parts that Solo was going to do that to him and spike him, because Solo and Roman are now on the same page, and the Usos was trying to get them back all on the same page. And then this right here, this was the funniest moment of the night right here. As Jacob Fatu just stood there and watched Roman get his ass whooped by a BFT, blunt force trauma. So you can tell that issue in the match right there. But this Raw was covered with everything, but the Bloodline really stole the show with the Solo and the LA Knight situation. So we kind of know now who Solo is going to side with. He's going to do his own thing and feud with the Bloodline going forward. And two, we also heard and found out that Oba Femi and Bron Breakker will have a match at Sunday night's main event in 2 weeks in Atlanta. So looking forward to seeing that match as well. So there's going to be a lot of matches on Momentum page going forward. So we're going to look forward to seeing that as well. So tonight's Raw was so, but I feel like those two segments really carried the show and carried weight on the show. So we kind of see what is going to be heading going forward. All right. That's going to end it for the Raw Ring Report. We're going to leave you with Solo Sikoa and LA Knight taking down the Bloodline. Now the Bloodline is going to have to recoup and try to figure out why Solo did what he did and did not join the group as promised. So for me being Kendrick Dick saying we'll see you tomorrow for the NXT Ring Report. This has been the Raw Ring Report here on the Pro Wrestling Show. Y'all have a good night, and we'll see you tomorrow for the NXT Ring Report here on the Pro Wrestling Show. Happy wrestling.